Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Economics. I'm your instructor Erica, and today I have another experiment for us. So we're going to try making soup dumplings. Now this is one of my favorite foods. I love going out with my friends and trying new soup dumpling places around the area. So I'm like, you know what, Erica, it's time for us to learn how to do it ourselves. So as always, put your aprons on and let's get started. So first things first, we got to start with a nice bowl, and then we're going to get some ground pork, and we're going to use probably about half of this because we only need a pound, and this is like 2 to 3 pounds. So we're going to open this up and get about half. And then I'm going to freeze the rest because, you know, we don't let things go to waste around here. Okay, that didn't work. Well, I guess it kind of did. Hold on. Ugh. Yuck. Oh my God. Okay. Just ignore that. Hold on. Okay. Crisis averted. So now we're going to take our chicken aspic. And what is chicken aspic? So basically, in order to get the soup into the dumpling, now this is something I actually wondered for a very long time while I would go eat soup dumplings. I'm like, how do they get the soup in the dumpling? Like, are they like injecting it? Is it like, how does that work? So I found out that your aspic is basically a gelatinous chicken stock. And so usually you can either take some chicken broth, flavor it up how you like, and then you would add gelatin sheets or gelatin powder to thicken it up. And then once it's in that jelly-like consistency or like jello, you would put it in your mixture. And then when you steam the dumplings, that's when it melts and that's what creates the soup. So since we made some chicken stock a few episodes back, I actually kind of get to skip that step. So I don't know if you remember, I froze some of my chicken stock cubes and it was super gelatinous because we used like a million chicken feet. And so I actually have that right here, which it is chopped up, but it's still frozen, which is good. And we're just gonna toss that in there. That might be too much, but I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty, so after that, we're going to take some finely chopped green onions. Now, these are from my garden. Very proud of these. And put these in our bowl. Then we're going to take 1 tablespoon of freshly ground ginger. Add that in. Then we're going to need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Oops. 1, 2. Then we'll need 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Funny thing about this sesame oil, I keep accidentally buying it because I think I don't have any or it's expired. And I went in my cabinet today and found that I have plenty of sesame oil, like 3 to 4 bottles. And then I bought another one. Go figure. Alrighty, after that, we're going to take 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. Pour that in. Then about 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then about 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. And then lastly, we'll need about 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. Now, we are going to stir this, and it says to stir it vigorously because that's going to activate some proteins or something, and you want to stir it all in the same direction for 3 to 5 minutes. So I don't know how to figure that out. I'm going to stir this the best I can. Probably should have got a deeper bowl, but I didn't. So we'll make do. Give this a good stir. I'm going to stir this and we'll be back. Okay, I vigorously stirred for 3 to 5 minutes, and this is what we got. So we're going to put this in the fridge because this has to remain cold, and then we're going to get started on our dumplings. So I call myself kind of taking a shortcut because I was at the Asian grocery store recently, and I found this dumpling flour, and I'm like, well, this should be good. You know, we'll just add water and make the dumpling dough. No, because I'm just now reading the back and we need a few extra ingredients. And so it has required me to have to break out my food scale. So we're going to take this step by step. So first we need to measure out about 200 milliliters of fresh milk. It says fresh on the pack. So I hope this doesn't over. Oh, okay, that's about 215. Okay, so we're going to pour majority of this in the bowl. Okay, that should be good. Now we're going to need to take 1 packet of yeast. Toss that in. I can open it. Now we'll need to do 100 grams of sugar. Okay, let me think. I gotta switch this over to grams. All right. I had a little vessel for my sugar. Hold on. I put it in the sugar container. Okay, so take that, zero it out, and then pour 100 grams. Oh, that's a lot. Does it really require that much? Oh, let me look at this. Yeah, it says 100 grams. Okay, well, that seems like a lot, but what do I know? Okay, so that's about 46. Wow, I think that's going to be sweet, though. What is... I am troubled by that. That's a lot of sugar. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to follow directions. If it's nasty, oh well. Okay. It's another 50 grams. Okay. So then it says we need to take 400 grams of flour into the mixture. So zero you out. Put that on. Try not to rip the instructions. I do believe that's probably going to be this whole bag as I'm looking at the amounts. So we'll dump the whole bag in. Oh. What is this? Oh, this was the yeast. Oh my God. Okay. Erica, once again. No. So I've been kneading for a while. Here's what we got. So now it's time to roll it out so we can start assembling our dumplings. So it says to take like some of your dough and then I'm gonna roll it out into like a snake. And not like a thin snake, like a thick one. So I'm gonna roll it out like so. Try to get it as even as possible. Let's go from that end. Then we'll cut pieces that are about that big. And roll them out into little circles. Roll a little bit in one direction, and another. A little more round. Then we'll take about a tablespoon or less of our mixture. Put that in there. Then it says to make pleats. So I'm gonna bring this up and try to make This might be too much filling for this amount of dough. Let me put some back. Just realized you can't see that. Anyway, that's more or less what I need. Okay. I think. Okay, wait a minute. So you're gonna start trying to pleat. Oh boy. Okay. I think I need to cut my little pieces a little bit bigger so I can get a bigger dumpling. Okay, this is my first one. So we're back and I have my dumplings rolled out and that was absolutely exhausting. So glad we got past that stage. Now I have my dumpling steamers here, and so usually you have to have some parchment paper that has holes in it. You can buy that. I didn't, and so I got a little creative and went a little elementary school art class and made a little mock snowflake, and hopefully it should all work the same. So we're gonna put our dumplings in our steamer, and I actually have a double steamer, so we'll put some on the top layer as well. Now, obviously, these are not all created equal. They are, some are a little uglier than others, but hopefully this shall work. I started to say should, start and then shall. Hopefully this should work. So yeah, let's head over to the stove and get these steaming. So here we are over on the stove. There's our dumplings. And I'm gonna set the timer for about 10 minutes and let these steam. Okay. I don't know about these. This might have been dough better suited for bao buns versus soup dumplings. Mistakes might have been made. I don't even know if this is done. I might have to use a food thermometer. Everything is done steaming, and this is kind of what we ended up with. Now, as I'm touching them, I absolutely think that I bought the wrong kind of dumpling flour. These definitely feel like bao buns. As you can see, they're quite thick. But nonetheless, let's give it a taste. Normally we'd eat these with chopsticks, but they're quite bouncy. So maybe there's some soup in there. I don't know. Okay, it's a little bit. Okay. I now understand all the sugar. And okay, it all makes sense to me. So these, the filling tastes really good. It tastes just like a soup dumpling you get at a restaurant. It's just the dough is not the correct kind. I do have some more filling left, and another day I might try to make these again with the rest of the filling. But yeah, they're decent. I mean, these would be a great like little snack, but not quite what I was going for. But you know, that's why we try and we experiment. So I would say, are they worth making? I think if you're just curious and you want to give it a try, but otherwise I would just say go to your local soup dumpling restaurant and order them and tip your people well, because they are extremely a labor of love, but they're worth it. They're worth the money. Maybe not making it home yourself though. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Alrighty, class dismissed.